Welcome to the CYF course, and today we will explore the wide topic of communication. Never in the history of the world have we had access to so many means of communication, and yet feeling so much isolation and loneliness. For most of us, we live, eat, walk, run, swim, no, not yet, with our phones. Even we sleep with it. And we complain when we are not connected. And yet, having this feeling of not being fully satisfied. How come? Let's discover what the Bible is teaching us regarding communication. From Genesis to Revelation, the entire Bible shows us a loving God who is trying by every possible means to connect with us. He is trying over and over again through human beings, through nature, through animals, through supernatural ways, even through wars and viruses, to connect with us. He has even been ready to give His only begotten Son for you and me to be reconciled with Him. Could you believe this? Can we grab what it really is? He is rejoicing over each one of us. And I love this passage in Zephaniah 3, verse 17, when it says that God, when He sees us coming to Him, He's like, wow, yes, He's shouting for joy. Hallelujah! He's coming, she's coming to me. And not only that, but He's jumping for joy. Like, yes! So happy. I have to realize that actually He is much more happy than me when I'm going to Him. He's so longing for that. What a gift, what an honor, what a privilege. The Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, shouting and jumping for joy every time I connect my heart with His. Wow, wow, wow. I would like to share with you a very inhuman experiment made with 6 babies. It has been done in the 11th century, and the question behind this experiment was that: what is the natural language of the human being without teaching him one? This question has arisen throughout history. So they isolated 6 babies, and the idea was to raise them without any human communication and interaction. Their environment was safe. They were kept warm, clean, and they were fed. But that's it. Can you guess the result? The 6 babies died. Wow. This inhuman isolation shows us the vital importance of communication. Without communication, we cannot survive. Dot. We have been created to communicate. God is longing to be in a close relationship with Him. We are wired by God like that. And I guess we will all very quickly agree that communication is an art. And we can start with a very good heart intention. However, between what I think, what I want to say, what I believe I'm saying, with what you want to hear, what you do hear, what you think you understand, what you want to understand, and what you do understand. There are at least 9 ways not to understand one another. And the enemy knows that so well. And you know what he loves to do? He loves to bring confusion, pride, offenses. And we must admit it, he succeeds quite well. So to have a biblical understanding of communication and what is God's design for us in relationship will help us not to fall over and over again in the traps of the enemy and to glorify God through our communication. Today, I would like to emphasize 2 things in the Bible concerning communication. The first one is that relationships are nurtured through communication. And by the way, not only verbal communication, but also the body, the emotions, many things are linked with communication. And it's a matter of heart. God is interested by a heart-to-heart communication, not conversation only with facts and the list of needs. We need to go beyond that. He's waiting to pour out his heart to us, and he's ready to welcome us wholeheartedly with our joys and our sorrows, with our wildest dreams and our highest frustrations. And the second thing is that we cannot separate our relationship with God and our relationships with one another. They influence one another. The more I love God, the more I will love others. In John 13 it says, "A new command I give you, love one another." It's not an option, if you feel, if you want to, no, love one another. And as I've loved you, so you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. I even heard once someone saying, in fact, you love God as much as the person you love the least on earth. Oops. Makes me think. Love is not only nice and pretty, it's the most powerful weapon existing. And I believe that the next wave coming on earth will embrace all the other one and not reject the former one like it happens too often in history. You know, like the word against the spirit or service against evangelism. What I'm observing in our day-to-day is that God is uniting his bride. Jesus is not going to marry a divided spouse. And God is preparing us to fully embrace all what he intends to entrust us with. It's time to get closer to one another. We cannot keep our big holes in our net. It's time to strengthen our relationships. And experiencing true unity is a matter of heart, not about doctrines or ideas. And it's linked, of course, with Jesus' command to love one another. And for love to flow in our midst, we need to be intentional in our relationships and work for the unity of our hearts, not just our thoughts. And of course, this is done through communication. God is emphasizing, calling His body to unity all over the world. And for us to be ready to welcome this new wave that I believe will be a relational wave. It's why it's so vital in this season that we teach, that we share tools and model to our children, youth and family, the one that we are loving and that we are serving, that communication is important. And what does communication look like in the kingdom? We will propose to you a few sessions on this topic, like what are crucial conversations? How is it to be known as unoffendable people? What is active listening and forgiveness? We could teach a lot on communication. And sometimes as adults, we can even become a little bit pedantic on that. You should forgive. Don't speak like this. Honor your brother and sister. But what will really make a difference is to model it within the context of our daily lives. You know, as a family, we are trying to do so. We are on a journey with that. But a few weeks ago, one of a non-yet Christian friend of our daughter, she was sitting at our table and we were just sharing our hearts. And she said, we never spoke so openly and deeply in our family. You seem to be like friends. It touches us. No surprise when we put that in light of the verse we read in John. If you love one another, everyone will know that you are my disciples. Wow. Thanks for listening, and some question will be available for you to further process this session. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon.